anti-checker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical
I have
difficulty.
got something better!
What is going on, YouTube? Michael J. Crawford, the anti-trekker here. Oh, and that's weird. Why does it still say Joseph up there when it should say Thomas now? But I don't even know how to fix that. Anyway, so sorry about that. So just got back from the doctor a little while ago. I am a little loopy right now. For some reason, I lost some time. I seem to recall something happening that was kind of a violation, and I was told this would protect me from anything happening in the future. So we'll find out. So not Ryan Johnson was first in the house. Good to see you, not Ryan Johnson. Schromer is here, as is Thomas Potts, unusually third, although probably because he didn't know what time I was going to stream today, and I obviously just started. John, the former peasant, says hi. Schromer says greetings to all the fellow nerds. Life with Matthew, the evil Kurogan, is here. Good to see you, Life with Matthew. Patrick Dax Boykick. Well, Patrick, I haven't seen you before, so welcome, my friend, and I'm sorry I can't pronounce your last name, but welcome, says hello, sir. Herpes McDerpington, haven't seen you in a little while, says it's day drinking time. I'm not quite ready for drinking. I'm a little too loopy for that. I would, yeah, that would be bad. But Thomas shows $1.99 in and says, you survived at number 26. Yes, number 26, the new one. So, yeah, well, if you're old, you'll really appreciate this. If you're not as old, well, you'll still probably think it's funny.
The toast and eggs are really good, but there seems to be something missing. Yeah.
That's what you're having for breakfast? That simply won't do. Follow me instead.
What kind of place are you taking us to?
A place that will introduce you to Frosted Fruity Hulls.
Not only does it have 4 unique fruity flavors, but it also has a glazed frost that makes it extra yummy.
How do they get so deliciously frosty? The frostiness of Frosted Fruity Hulls, of course, comes from this hull. Part of a complete nutritious breakfast.
Jeez. Oh, man. So Joshua put that together. Oh, man, that's horrible. But
I have got something better!
And Patrick throws 5. I don't even know what CHF stands for. So thank you, my friend. I honestly have no idea what CHF is, so I have no idea what part of the world you are in, Patrick, but thank you, my friend. And in case you're new here, Patrick, just so you know, when you do put a super chat in, you can choose a super chat or UBERCHAT reward at the $5 level. I assume CHF is somewhere near that because it popped up the same color as if it was $5. And so you could just throw a number in there if you want one of the super chat rewards 1 through 26 or the UBERCHAT rewards 1 through 11. The UBERCHAT ones are a little more lengthy in general than the super chat ones. Anyway, Sci-Fi Guy says, hey, anti-trigger fellow nerds. Black Adam says, on the doll, where did the mean doctor touch you? How are you, man? I feel, it's funny because I feel like I'm in this perpetual grogginess from the anesthetic. So basically, I feel like I'm just waking up, even though I've been awake for now at this point, probably about 2 hours. But yeah, I feel like I'm still in the process of waking up. Mike Richards, it says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Glad you're home. I am glad to be home. Not going to get any work done today, but I'm just, after the live stream, I don't plan on doing anything other than just recouping. Les Brewer, it says, hi, Anti-Checker. They didn't turn you to a Frankenstein at the Mad Doctor's office, did they? LOL, hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay at this point, but I think that's more or less just because with the anesthesia not completely worn off yet, I wouldn't know if I wasn't doing okay. Tonight's episode, Journey to the Center of Anti-Checker, starting at the South Pole. Yeah, that's about right. Thomas says, he's gone insane. No, I'm perfectly normal. Black Adam says, is that a metal mold of your colon? No, this is to protect me from the people that abused me. Valor's in the house, says, hi, how you doing? Good news from the doctor. Did you receive the Cartman treatment from the MIB? Yes. And actually, the news from the colonoscopy is actually good. So the bottom line is that fortunately,
I have got something better.
And Patrick, there's another 5. Oh, Swiss francs. I didn't think there were still. Oh yeah, I guess Switzerland is not. Is that? Are they not part of the EU? I didn't realize that. So I did not realize that. So you're probably the first person to give me some Swiss francs. So thank you, Patrick, and doubly so. And thank you for the education. Anyway, so yeah, relatively good news from the doctor. They found that I have a minor case of diverticulosis, which is not a big deal. However, the lymph node scare and stuff turned out to be, at least so far, nothing. So there's no sign of a resurgence of the colon cancer. So that part of the scare is thankfully over. Justin says, great hat. Thomas says, Antrigger, the thing we're building in Space Engineers was on fire. So I fixed, oh shoot, it caught on fire? Oh, dang. We've been struggling to try to build something. Adrian Vickery says, Antrigger, FYI, BBC just announced that Rutger Hauer has passed away. Really? Wow. That's sad. I mean, granted, he wasn't a young man, but it's still sad. So basically, feed Auntie a bag of powdered sugar and voila, frosting. Yes. Welcome to your stream, Michael, and more importantly, welcome back from your traumatizing experience. We believe you and support you. Hashtag MePoo. Thank you, Luke. And it is definitely good to have that part of this ordeal over with. I've been dreading the colonoscopy for a while. Tomorrow I got to go into the physical therapist to be examined for how bad the pain in my back and knee are. And then next week I start getting all sorts of injections in my back and knee to hopefully take care of that. And then Patrick's super chat says, okay, Swiss franc, CHF stands for the Confederation wow, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Helvetica franc. I am from the center of Europe, the lone free country there. Currently, 1 CHF is about $1. Okay, I did not know that, and in fact, I didn't know any of that. But welcome, my friend, and I hope things are going well there in Switzerland. If I ever get a chance to come out to visit you in Switzerland, I expect lots and lots of chocolate. Commander Shran says hello. Les Brewer says, love your new chapeau. Well, thank you. Yes, I worked very, very hard on it. One time I was released into the wild after a colonoscopy. I was still so high I started screaming down phone, answering my company's phone greeting. I had no idea where I was. Yeah, it took me a little bit. Fortunately, Mrs. Antitrekker was there when I woke up. She actually had to help me get dressed, and she obviously drove me home because I would not get behind the wheel of a car right now. And Mercer throws a couple of bucks in. Thank you so much, Mercer. Says, physician, heal thyself. Is that all you have to say? Yes. Great moment in Star Trek 2. But yeah, unfortunately, I did not have Dr. McCoy. And notice that, okay, so the little thing did update here. So Patrick is now king of the hill, but his health bar got knocked down a little bit because Mercer threw a couple of bucks in. So good to see that that's working. One time I already read that. We never ask how Mrs. Antitrekker is doing and handling everything. She is doing pretty well. It's been very stressful for her, to be honest with you, because she's been dealing with her mom's estate, which is enough, right? But that on top of dealing with her sister's estate, which is garbage. And then she's dealing with my back injury, and now she's dealing with me, being all drugged out from the colonoscopy and stuff. So yeah, she is a trooper, and so she gets all the credit in the world for being the best wife on the planet. Herpes says, with sci-fi in general going the way of the dodo, I've been spreading the good word of the Emperor. I suggest giving 40K a shot. You know, it's funny. I want to try it one of these times. But I don't think sci-fi in general is going the way of the dodo. I just think that our big sci-fi franchises are. I think that Star Trek and Star Wars in particular are in serious trouble. But you know, we still have things like the Orville. We still have things like the Expanse. So I'm not willing to call sci-fi a dead animal. Josh says, how is the butt execution? Well, that's an interesting way to describe it. But as far as the the procedure itself, well, I was unconscious for it, fortunately. But the after effects, I can, you definitely know what happened. But but fortunately, the main thing is that looks like mostly my colon is in good health, so that's the important thing. Thank God, man! Delighted to hear you should celebrate today. Absolutely, Black Adam. I'm very happy about that. Good news, then. Congratulations. Thank you, MC. Marlena is here, says, hi, Aunt Sugar, how's your butt? Wow, you guys are just bad. I assume you already heard what I just said. Patrick says, Luke, you are from France or from French-speaking Switzerland? Luke is from France, I thought. Luke says, Switzerland is rather on the neutral side regarding the EU. They do profit from the custom union, though, the single market. A Swiss franc is basically worth slightly more than a euro. I did not know that. So, international stuff confuses me, but then I'm easily confused. Darth Ball says, Antrigger, hallelujah on your report. Absolutely, thank you, my friend.
I have got something better.
And Patrick throws another 5 francs in there. Thank you so much, Patrick. And says, well, I will gladly go with you to the Lint Factory store. And then I'll read the rest when I get down there because it faded out before I could read it. But thank you so much, my friend. Luke is our pet frog. Yes, and Luke is a beloved member of the nerd community. We make fun of him, but he's a great guy. Yeah. Kronos says, hey there, you survived. I did. And I'm loopy to boot. So, yeah, I'm definitely, and I forgot to empty the tip jar. Sorry about that, guys, but Celebi. Yeah, I'm definitely not all the way back yet from the land of unconsciousness. I am French, but that makes me your neighboring foreigner. Yes. Good news on the doctor visit. Very good news. Absolutely sci-fi. I'm so glad that that part of it is behind me. No pun intended. As long as it wasn't Dr. Giggles. It was not Dr. Giggles. In your dreams, John, you peasant. Because Luke is our pet frog, yes. Or Doctor Strange. Well, Doctor Strange, before the accident, would be the best doctor to have. Marlena says, yes, Warhammer 40K for the Emperor. Yeah, I gotta learn something about that thing. So where would you start? Now, don't tell me about YouTube videos about all the deep lore and stuff, but like if I wanted to learn the game itself, what level of investment do you have to do to just start to learn it? Continuum says, someone say drugs. Yeah. There's serious mental fatigue on the load-bearing members. The wiring is substandard. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I know what's wrong. There's serious mental fatigue on all the load-bearing members. The wiring is substandard and it's completely inadequate for our power needs. And the neighborhood is like a demilitarized zone. Hey, guys, do you see this pole? Yeah, man, I love that. Luke says, Trigger, by the way, did you hear what Quentin Tarantino said about his upcoming Trek movie in a recent podcast? No, what did he say? Or am I going to not want to hear what he said? Vile Mike says, howdy, folks. How you doing, Vile? Good news, everybody. F cancer. Absolutely, Mike Richards. Yes. And John says, I did mean Luke, spelled properly. Autocorrect. Yes. And then Patrick, okay, so here's what he said. Well, I gladly go, let's see. I would gladly go with you to the Lint Factory store. I support you because you support the Swiss pharmaceutical companies. Oh, man, I tell you. I don't, that's funny because it's probably true. I don't know how many of my drugs that I've been taking lately came from Switzerland, but I do love Swiss chocolate, though. All right, so yes, good news, Antrigger, absolutely. Joni Silk, I think, just been announced that Rutger Hauer died at age 75. Yeah, someone else said that just a minute ago that they saw it on the BBC. So rest in peace, Rutger. He was definitely an interesting character and had some truly great roles. So he will be missed. Black Adam says, I'm getting a puppy tomorrow. Jack Russell from a kill shelter, 6 weeks old. Yeah, you told me about that on the last live stream. I hope that goes well for you. And Jack Russells, I've never had a Jack Russell, but I understand they're very intelligent. But that can work both good and bad because, like, beagles are also very intelligent. That also makes them kind of stubborn when it comes to training. So But very intelligent dogs, to be sure. Rutger Hauer was Anne Rice's choice for Lestat. He did play a similar character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, true. My favorite role of his was Nevers. What was Nevers from? Now I gotta look it up because I can't remember that one. It's probably something like really obvious that... let's see... and let's see, Nevers. Oh, from Lady Hawk. Okay. I don't think I saw Lady Hawk, actually. But let me see. But yeah, Rutger Hauer was one of those actors that, I mean, like, when you look at his... it's funny, because I just going to his IMDb page real quick. Let me find... There's Rutger. Now, now look at this... and he actually has a couple of things that are still scheduled out. If they've already been shot, he may actually have a couple of things coming. However, on Rutger's IMDb page here, notice, of course, Blade Runner, first thing, Hobo with a Shotgun, Batman Begins, Sin City. You know, he was in a lot of great stuff. And, you know, he was in a lot of crap, too, but he was definitely a working man's actor. He wasn't turning down roles to be because he was too picky. Oh, yeah, I forgot he was on True Blood. But, yeah, I think I still loved him so much in Blade Runner. I thought he made that movie. Anyway. Let's get back to it. May BIRDOPREY be the biggest pain in your rear today. That's unlikely. Although Wesley says, how's it going? What I missed? Well, basically, I got my colonoscopy this morning, and I got a clean bill of butt. But that's just the first of many procedures that I have to do over the next couple of weeks. So, yeah. Let's see. Schromer says, Mother Angelica, a feisty old nun, said, some people are saint makers. If you don't kill them, your patience will make you a saint. Mrs. Antichecker is a saint with all she does. She absolutely is. Oh, wow. Stealth show. Why are you wearing my hat? Well, Darren, I'm wearing the hat because I just got probed, like, within the last couple of hours. So, yeah, that's why I'm wearing the hat. Get it? Don't forget, people, hit the like button, share via socials, donate if you can, and down with Kuroga. All, rock solid. I love that I can always count on you to speak the truth, my friend. So, yes, down with Kuroga. The evil empire must fall. Jody Silk says, I always thought Raul Julia was her first choice for Lestat, but I could definitely see Hauer. Sorry, I know you see it and it looks like Hauer in the role. I could too, actually. After the colonoscopy, can you whistle in a more higher or lower note? I can't whistle at all. I mean, that's the best I can whistle. You are loopy. Looking at the tinfoil hat, I never would have guessed. What tinfoil hat? Quick, everyone mess with Antrekker. Ask crazy, weird questions. I'll just try to answer them as best I can. Freedom ain't free. Sometimes you got to let the doctor get in you. Oh, man. Depends on if you want to do the 40K video game or the tabletop version. Well, video game will probably be easier for me. I didn't know there was a 40K video game, so I'll probably have to check that out. I thought it was just like a tabletop game for some reason. Let me see.
For God's sakes, get out.
Okay, so get out of Kuroga, huh? Let's see. What does this say?
For God's sakes, get out of Kuroga. You'd be much better off in a Canadian or Kyrgyzstan.
Wow.
For God's sakes, get out of Kuroga. You'd be much better off in a Canadian or Kyrgyzstan. For God's sakes.
So BIRDOPREY actually said that you would be better off in Kurdistan than Karoga. It's nice to know that Bird of Prey actually did say that. Let's see. You could buy the rulebook and checker. Start with a skirmish game of Kill Team. It's simple and quicker, and we'll get into the game. Okay. Here it is for everyone to hear. Oh, Midnight's Edge. So that's, the thing from Quentin Tarantino. Oh, and what did that just do? That was weird. I have no idea. So I will definitely check that out. Let's minimize that for now, though. Spank the like button, says Kronos. He's getting a little weird today. Anybody wants to see the Trek trivia game I played this week? Here it is. Oh, okay. And so, Mercer, I will mark that one too.
So we'll see. Yeah. We're live, apparently.
If I have a chance to watch that, I don't know that I will. Today, I'm just going to be zoning out after I do the live stream. I'm already kind of zoning out, but I will, yeah. I'll try to watch that when I can. Let's see. Black Anna says, but I'm kind of dumb. That's why I subbed to you. Well, that's mean. Mr. Wolverine says, howdy there, Antrigger. So does this mean you have literally no craps to give? Warhammer 40K can't decide if it's a Star Wars ripoff or a D&D ripoff or a Battletech ripoff. Also, Warhammer 40K is expensive as hell. Oh, man, the dude from Lady Hawk died. He was cool. Good news came back from the back door today. Eh? Well, we'll take it. Why are you wearing my hat? I already said why I'm wearing your hat. It's not your hat. It's just protection from getting probed too much. Because, yeah, I definitely got probed. Now I lost. Where was I? I like the movie where he played the blind swordsman in the 80s. Can't remember. That sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
I have got something better.
And Patrick throws another 5 francs in there. Wow, my friend, you are just crazy generous. Thank you, Patrick. Don't ever go anywhere and don't watch anybody else's live streams because I want you off for myself. No, I just messing with you. But thank you so much. I do appreciate it, Patrick. And if you do want a super chat reward animation or something, let me know, my friend. And say, meanwhile, where was I? Quantum Leaper says, I knew him from Batman Begins. Yeah. As the person who took over Wayne Enterprises. Rutger Hauer in Blade Runner was really great. I still think that was like, that whole soliloquy he gives just as he's dying, I thought was beautiful. R.I.P. Rutger, the Tears of the in the Rain speech is probably my favorite monologue in cinematic history. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I was talking about. Basically, Tarantino said to JJ, why do I have to deal with that Kelvin reboot thingy? I want to do my movie in the TOS timeline. Screw that. Well, if he does that, I'm good with that. But I'm still very nervous about frickin' Tarantino making a Star Trek movie. Les agrees. Rutger was great. Blade Runner. Arnold says Auntie isn't moving in. Well, she's in her normal rest mode, which she is most of the time. Clean butt of health is all you need. Yes. I liked Rutger in Valerian City of 1,000 Planets. I have not seen that one. So, I don't know. Good to hear, entry. Thank you. Hail, Karoga. Shomer. Terrible of you. Rock Solid says, did you see Cartman when you got probed? Did you have warm? Did the doctor have warm hands? Did you get dinner at least? Flowers, a phone number. Well, I did get a business card. And Mrs. Antrecker is going to take me to dinner tonight because of what I went through. So there's that. Blesley says, clean bill of butt. Hashtag clean poo. I helped Cinnabon make an awesome ship on the server last night. Oh, cool. You whistle as well as Data. Yeah, well, actually, Data could whistle better than me because he got most of the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel down, except for the last note. That's all I can do whistling. I've never been able to whistle. Any good faith for Star Trek Picard? Honestly, and if you saw my trailer review, you probably already got the vibe, but I think it looks like a good show. It does not look like Star Trek in the slightest, and that's my big problem with it. I don't, You know, like, I love The Expanse. I think The Expanse is great. You don't need to make The Expanse with Starfleet uniforms, right? That doesn't make any sense. You make Star Trek, Star Trek. The Expanse can be The Expanse. But CBS does not seem to understand that. CBS, it's so funny because the Star Trek, it should be so easy to make good Star Trek. First of all, you simply follow the formula that was established by 50 years of Star Trek. Then, and you cast a new crew with interesting characters, with interesting problems. You send them on adventures. Bam, you got a workable show. Now, before you start branching off into weird stuff, you just do your basic show. Let's bring in the Enterprise F or whatever and a brand new crew. Or let's do the Enterprise A, the Excelsior class, or the Enterprise B, the Excelsior class ship, after the events of Star Trek VI, and bring in a new crew there. Either way, I would love to see just a new crew on the Enterprise. Then you can branch off into other stuff. So with you this loopy, can we finally get the origin to the Anti-Checker name? No. However, thanks to our overlord Doomcock, I've gotten a little bit of a surge in subscribers. So, you know, who knows? Maybe by the end of summer or at least the end of the year. Evening, Anti-Checker. Just seen you on. Thank you, Peter. Good to see you, my friend. Doctor, did you know that a bouquet of flowers, you had a bouquet of flowers in your rectum? Anti-Checker, really? Who are they from? Okay. That's just odd. And Peter says, how go the bowels? The bowels, well, basically, I'm okay. That's the important thing is, and let me, now BIRDOPREY sent me, now what a lot of people don't realize is that because I was on a peace mission, I was actually attempting to establish peace with the evil Korogans. And let me see if I can find where, here we go. And so unfortunately, since I was on a peace mission in Koroga at the time, I actually had to have the Korogan doctors take care of me. And you can see there I am. So yeah. And that was courtesy of BIRDOPREY. See you sporting a lovely hat there. Well, yeah, it's to protect me from any future probings. But yeah, as far as the actual probe itself, everything seems fine. So that's the important thing. When they insert the camera, did you say harder? No, I did not. Oh man, yeah, I said it last. Hey, Checker, got a new hat? Yes, it's. I don't want any more probings. No more probings, not today. Black Adam says, hello, did you say thank you to the doctor when you left, or did you leave with a ashamed look on your face? Actually, I didn't see the doctor on my way out. I only talked to the nurses, and I thanked them. But, yeah. And let's see. News just coming in. Rutger Hauer died. Yes, Peter, we've been talking about that, actually, before you came in. And we were talking about our favorite roles with Rutger. For me, personally, it's Blade Runner. That soliloquy he gives at the end of Blade Runner as he's dying is beautiful. So Patrick, with the 5 additional francs that he put in, says, you know that all Stan countries are Islamic. Well, not Turkestan. Turkestan, I know, is kind of the exception. And so it's the exception that helps prove the rule. There are, the Stan name doesn't necessarily mean it has to be an Islamic nation. Fun fact, the hat Anti-Checker is wearing is not a tinfoil hat. It is an aluminum foil hat. Tinfoil hats have not been available for decades by design. There you go. So that's actually technically true. We call it tinfoil, but it's aluminum foil. Jason Scott says, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've watched C-beams glitter in the dark near the... I can't pronounce that, but yes. All those moments will be lost in time like tears in the rain. Time to die. Yeah, that was just such a... it's funny because you think about it and you can get into the deeper discussion of life after death and all that stuff. It's like, is all your memories just gone when you die, right? If assuming a non-supernatural world, that there's no God, no afterlife, or anything like that, everything is just lost. And how tragic is that for every one of us? So hopefully that's not the case. May you well rest well in Silicone Heaven. And you need their figures to play. BattleTech is better, in my humble opinion. I haven't played BattleTech either. Jason Scott says R.I.P. Rutger, yes. Tinfoil is easier to type, that's true. Darren says Blind Fury. Oh, is that the name of the movie he was in? Thank you. Did the tool the doctor used have a Ford logo on it? Get it, A-Trigger? Ford Probe? I actually didn't get to see the actual instrument this time. Last couple times I actually saw it laid out before they did the procedure. This time, where the way that they had me on the bed when they brought me into the room, I couldn't see it. So I don't know what it looked like. And do not go to Discord during this or any other live stream. Well, you heard it here, guys. I will not be going to Discord during this live stream per the orders of Darren, the Duke of Discord. Kronos, you think Bird is going to do the same? I don't know what you're talking about there. I love how, as far as Star Wars, JJ said, F it. Yeah. It's funny. There's a lot of that going around right now. So JJ's saying F it as far as Rian Johnson's crap in Star Wars. Quentin Tarantino's saying F it as far as JJ's stuff in Star Trek. That could actually be a positive thing. Don't get me wrong. While I think that The Force Awakens has one very serious flaw, and that is the fact that Rey turns out to be a Mary Sue by the end. However, up until that point, up until Rey starts doing things like fixing the Millennium Falcon, then she's smarter than Han Solo and beating Kylo Ren. If you took those two things out of it, also the stupidness where she accidentally does everything perfectly on Han's freighter, take that stuff out, and it was a pretty solid movie. And so I actually had high hopes for Star Wars after seeing The Force Awakens, but then the Last Jedi kind of ruined it. So, I do think that could be a good sign. JJ basically saying F it. And Patrick says, no need, I watch you quite often. I'm no friend of Patreon. I just wanted to keep you going here and give my part to it. Thank you, Patrick. Which, by the way, I will tell you, I understand there's a lot of people that don't like Patreon, and for good reason. And so the only reason I haven't closed down my Patreon account. And Jeff throws a couple of euros in. Thank you so much. I will just, I will get to your chat in just a minute. Let me finish my thought here. So what I want to let you know, Patrick, is that if you didn't know this already, if you want to support the channel and you don't want to do Patreon, you can go to antitrekker.com, and there's a way to support the channel there that avoids Patreon completely if you want to. You don't have to, but I certainly encourage people to do that, because once I get enough people supporting the channel, I'll be able to do this full time, and hopefully once my back is better, that means more production, which, yes. I was nervous when I heard Tarantino was making World War II period piece. Then I saw Inglourious Basterds, was blown away. He can be authentic if he wants to be authentic. He can be, but I don't know that there's a single Quentin Tarantino film that is not wall to wall cursing. So I don't want to see that in Star Trek. I really don't want an R-rated Star Trek. I just don't. Where did you receive the business card entry? In my hand, Kronos. Thomas says, I found Cinnabon's ship while scouting. Oh, okay. The one that we lost, or another one? Valor says, BattleTech is a fun game, not that hard to get into, and far cheaper as well. Well, I understand, but Warhammer 40K seems to be what's really popular, and so I want to see what all the rage is about. Because Bird didn't realize he was live for 45 minutes. Bird was live for 45 minutes and didn't realize it? That's bad. It was 29 degrees centigrade and probably 30 degrees tomorrow. I think that's a new record for Newcastle upon Tyne. My sweat is sweating. So I assume 29 degrees and 30 degrees is hot. So I have no idea. Will you bring an inflatable ring to sit on? You should wear your hat when everybody asks you... when anybody asks you why you're wearing it, you should say, I was probed today by FBI federal butt inspectors. No, I don't have to have an inflatable ring. It's not that bad, but you can definitely feel that something bad happened. Peter, where are you at with 29 degrees? Isn't, well, he'll probably tell you. Anti-Treaker. Wow, that sounded weird. If you want to know more about Warhammer, I can tell you about it later. Okay, cool. Newcastle upon Tyne, UK, near Scotland. So there you go. That's where he's at. Darth Maul says, what have you heard or observed about the Eagle Moss starship build quality? Well, I have a few Eagle Moss ships, right behind me, in fact. Some of them are outstanding. Let me show you. Like this is one that I particularly like. This is the NX-01 as it was supposed to be for season 5 of Enterprise, where they're going to refit it. And so overall, I like Eagle Moss ships. I think that they're high quality. My biggest problem with Eagle Moss is honestly the stands. The stands that the ships sit on are incredibly fragile, and you can't replace them. Like you can't go, at least the last time I checked, you couldn't. You couldn't just go to Eagle Moss's site and order a replacement stand. I had an unfortunate incident where my bookcase fell over and a bunch of ships came crashing down and the stands were destroyed, but only one of the ships was damaged. But unfortunately, with the stand just destroyed, I can't put them on the stand, which sucks. But overall, Darth Maul, if you like, miniature ships, they're really good. Newsflash, everyone, it's summer. It's supposed to be hot. That is true. Let's see. R-rated Star Trek is a good idea, not the F word, but if Batleth cuts you should bleed hard. Well, that's the thing. Hey, Auntie, you're awake. What's up, girl? I agree with you to a point, but we don't need to have graphic violence. We don't need to have graphic language. We don't need to have graphic sex. It's just not something that belongs in Trek. Scientific Lens says, good to hear about your health. As for future lives beyond this one, I would request a full factory system reset. And let's see, now anti-move, so we got to move the anti-cam. There we go. That's true about being popular doesn't always mean better. I will grant you that. 29 degrees is very hot here. It's not every year, and it's 30 degrees is the record. I believe you. I just don't know how hot that is. So, and I'm too stoned right now to be able to look for it, because as it is, I'm having an incredibly difficult time just keeping up with the chat. In fact, I'm way behind in the chat, aren't I? Yeah, I'm like, where was I? Man, the chat, hold on, the chat completely screwed up. Looks like, okay, that's that. Okay, I'm just going to read stuff addressed to me for right now because I am just losing it and I'm way behind. The games look like a wee bit odd. Rockware is not, and you can walk through, pick up some stuff, but in storage, you got lots of ice. Oh, in Space Engineers? Okay. The game looks odd. Rockware, it's not. Yes, that is a graphical glitch that I've had happen like 3 times, where all of a sudden it'll look like rock that's been carved away. Looks like it's still there, but then if you walk into it, you walk right through it. Basically, the only way to fix that I could figure out is to exit the game completely and go back in. So obviously you want to find yourself your way to a cryo chamber first. Kate McEwen said that TOS was misogynistic. There's a long way to go yet. They got another one. Yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. Yes, there are some things in the original series that kind of make you cringe a little bit, but which is a product of the times that it was made. However, I'm sorry, misogynistic. The show was incredibly progressive when it comes to women and minorities, and so anybody that wants to say that just can't appreciate it. Might change the name of the channel. Antrigger might change the name of the channel and still won't tell us the origin of your name, jerk. Well, remember, the name change to the channel wouldn't happen until fall anyway. So hopefully, and if I hit 10,000 subs before I change the name, I probably won't change the name. Stargate hit the problem with the SG universe. It was actually a good show, but it was so different in tone for the rest of the franchise, it just didn't work. They tried to be BSG. Yeah, I've heard that about Universe. I haven't seen it yet, of course, but yeah, and we don't, if you have a franchise, you make that franchise consistent. If you want to do something totally different, separate it somehow. And here's a great example. Marvel, the MCU, has been very consistent with their tone for the most part. Only a couple of movies are odd outs, right? The Incredible Hulk comes to mind as being a much darker film than most of the MCU. However, when Marvel wanted to go dark, we got the Netflix shows. And the Netflix shows were outstanding, dark, gritty superhero stories. But by separating it from the rest of the MCU, it didn't create that disconnect problem. It was completely different. It was just related. And that would be okay. The problem is you can't this would be like taking Captain America and then putting him in a dark and gritty universe like we see in Daredevil. That would not work, because Captain America is not supposed to be dark and gritty. Well, Jean-Luc Picard is not supposed to be dark and gritty, but that's what we're getting. So, yeah. Luke says, Saint Trigger, so one could say you got hit by a Birdoprobe Class 5. Yes. What was your meal after the hunger strike? Honestly, Kronos, believe it or not, I had some top ramen when I got home, and it was delicious. Just needed some. I didn't want anything too heavy. And me and Miss Saint are going to go out for a nice meal later. Did you see Birdstream last night? No, I did not. I was too busy in the throes of evacuating everything from my body. So I did not see Birdstream, much to my dismay. Hope it was a good stream. I love Bird. He's a great guy. And Craig, you have a lot of chat reading to do. I know I'm working on it. I'm trying to get caught up. Iron Wolf is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. We'll be watching The Empire. When you grow up, it will be waiting for you. Yes, a great Rutger Hauer line. Urpus says, if you're going to Area 51 raid, look for the taco truck. Myself and a coworker are cooking. All right, Urpus, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going. So, but good luck with the taco truck. That Rutger like is I assume that Rutger line is more powerful now. It kind of is, but the sad thing is, of course, that I'm sure DC is going to try to make Batman gay or something. They already have Batwoman saying she's better. Darren says, Andrea, Stan is a Persian suffix meaning land, place, or country. So Turdistan is the land of the turds, and you are Persian. Well, no, it's a Persian suffix. It doesn't mean. It just means that where Turdistan is used to be part of Persia. We'll show it on a map one of these days. But Karoga is just that's the worst place on the planet. I thought I'd buy heavy duty foil Butters South Park. Yes, the fractured butthole. I love that game. She's a beautiful ship, shapely, seductive. I'm going to fly her brains out. Yes, Zap Brannigan. Funny because me and Mrs. Antricker just watched that episode. Black Adam says, before they inserted the camera, did they say, remember, if you tell anybody, you will be in trouble? Funny, I remember something like that, but, the problem is that they were putting the drugs in me, so it's like, remember, if you tell... And then I woke up. Joseph says, just joined. Was it an alien probe? Paranoia 23. It was an alien probe, I think. I just know that I was probed, and I'm trying to recover. And 23, not the new one. All right, let me bring it up. There we go. And thank you, Joseph. I do appreciate it. Sorry for the long delay. I'm working on catching up. I know I'm over 10 minutes behind now, so I got to step it up. And, man, I'm just... Yeah, the anesthetic is definitely doing a number on me. Yeah. Gotta wonder if Ant Tricker will still respect the Doctor in the morning, or if the Doctor will respect Ant Tricker in the morning. You know what McCoy would say about this? It's medievalism, yes. To be precise, it seems Tarantino was talking to JJ, the guy he was doing the movie with, and JJ agrees. Well, I tend to agree. I would like to see them just go back to the original TOS timeline, but only if they keep the TOS aesthetic. I don't want to see this Discovery crap. Peter says, direct message on Discord, good list of tinfoil hats and pics. I will check it out later. However, Peter, there's a new rule established by Darren. I am not allowed to go to Discord during the live stream. At least not today, because I am way too loopy to try and operate this computer in that advanced a way. Darren says, watched Star Trek 2009 again recently, and I am now firmly of the opinion that J.J. Kirk is a Mary Sue or a male Ray. I disagree, Darren, because Kirk gets his ass kicked several times in that movie. Continue on. Are you still changing your name, Ant Tricker? Not. If I do, it won't be till fall. I'm letting it ride until fall on the advice of Nerdrotic and others who basically say, well, summertime is already slow. You got the algorithm changes, but YouTube's not done tweaking it, so let's wait and see what happens. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it until fall. I hope Quentin Tarantino will be true to the wagon in space idea for his film. Fun and exciting adventure. Beam me up, mother effer. Well,
I have got something
I can talk
better.
about that, but I don't want to get in too much trouble. But you do realize Wagon Train to the Stars was actually a lie. In case, and I actually have, if you look at one of my earliest videos, I showed the video evidence where basically Gene Roddenberry admits it was a straight up lie. But yeah. Black Adam says, LOL, when you're on your 10th, when on the 10th and 11th, I will be away, but I will be spamming you with con pics to show the class. Very cool, Black Adam. I look forward to it. So please do. Inglourious Bastards is not wall-to-wall cursing. Well, actually, that's one of the few Tarantino films I've not seen, so I don't know much about Inglourious Bastards. But I remember when early on, when this whole thing with Star Trek came up with Tarantino, and they asked if it would be R-rated, and his response was, hell yeah. And let's see. Thomas says, Ant Tricker, another ship. I assume are you saying... what? Thomas, another ship? I don't know what you mean. Let's see. Nicole says, well, I am 10-7, got a job interview, be good or good at it, peace, love, want a jelly baby. I would love a jelly baby, good luck with your interview, and you've probably been gone for the last 10 minutes, so yeah, I suck. Newsflash, everyone, this summer it's supposed to be hot. I thought I read that already, but I guess not. Good to hear about your health. As for future lives beyond this one, I know I read that one. Yeah, see, the chat's really screwed up. Being popular doesn't mean better. I know I read that too. What the heck happened? Let's see. Okay, I think I'm here. Sorry, guys. I know I'm a little lost. Let's see. Cinnabon and I Wesley, we're talking about doing the battle that we had planned next week, Sunday or Monday, maybe. Yeah, I'm down for that. I think that ideal would probably be Sunday night, if Bird is game. So Wesley, I would say reach out to Bird, see if he's good, and then let's see if we can make it happen Sunday night. Because I don't usually live stream on Sundays except for in the early morning, and so that means I can set up a special live stream just for it. Bird could simultaneously stream if he wants to. We could have a lot of fun. And I won't be recovering from being raped. A battle cut should bleed, but not a geyser. That's one of my main concerns with a Tarantino film. I agree, Live with Matthew. I don't want to see blood splurting. You know what I mean. Do you think the TOS Enterprise looks better as it was filmed, or should it be upside down as intended? If it was intended to be upside down, honestly, I like it the way it was. I think the Connie is a darn near perfect ship. 30 degrees is like 80, 90-ish in Fahrenheit. Well, that's a pretty big range. 80 is warm, 90 is hot. But let me see. 30 centigrade to Fahrenheit. Let's see. It's 86 degrees. So by American standard, or at least by Tennessean standards, that's an average summer day. Caption under your pup. I'm so excited I could just sleep. Yeah, that's Auntie in a nutshell right there. Cinnabon is in the house. Good to see you, Cinnabon. I am very, very drugged, so forgive me if I miss chats and crap because I suck right now. Thomas says, I saw psychedelic grass in Space Engineers. Yeah, you sent me the picture of it. It looked trippy, man. I would absolutely, when I first came out of the rape room, as I'm now going to call it, that grass in the game would have, like, completely freaked me out. By the way, speaking of rape room, if you haven't seen the trailer for Dr. Sleep, holy crap, sequel to The Shining? Didn't see that coming. Joseph says, 29 degrees centigrade is 84 Fahrenheit, so it's not that hot. For me in Slovakia, it's a nice weather. Hot is sub 100. Yeah, I tend to agree. Like here, now granted, the humidity in the American South is pretty high. So, but once it gets past, like, I would say about 90 degrees, well, probably about 88, 89 degrees, that's where it really gets uncomfortable. When you get into the 90s, I hate it. But if it was 86, I would prefer it to be about 10 degrees cooler, but I can stand it. Quentin Tarantino, bad choice for Star Trek, as his past movies proves that. I agree. That's the thing. I love a lot of Tarantino's work. I really do. But I do not think that his work is compatible with Star Trek. And nobody seems to understand this. They don't understand tone. This is not they. They, when I say they, I don't mean you guys. I, of course, mean the producers of these films and stuff. And this is not just Star Trek. This is across the board in Hollywood these days. They don't seem to understand tone. They certainly don't understand their fan base. They are trying. I mean, it's almost like they're intentionally trying to destroy the entire motion picture industry right now. It makes no sense. Let's see. Tarantino said in an interview that he liked 2009 Trek movie, but he didn't like how Into Darkness means no space seed. He said Abrams said nobody likes it. Abrams doesn't even like it. Well, I don't know about that, but I personally don't. I mean, the Star Trek 2009. I did not hate that movie, all right? And I actually liked a lot of that movie. My only real gripe with Star Trek 2009 was, A, Kirk got promoted way too fast, and B, I don't like the design of the Enterprise. And I certainly don't like them not using beams anymore for phasers. I'm really tired of that. And of course, they doubled down then on the Discovery, and looking at the trailers for Picard, it looks like they're going to continue with the tradition of phasers being blaster bolts. Phasers aren't frickin' blasters. CBS, phasers aren't blasters. Figure it out. Sorry, that's the drugs talking. TOS too misogynistic. Bah, women love misogynistic stuff. The biggest demographic for Mad Men was women aged 18 to 35. They love watching the show about men from that era. Well, it's funny because there's actually some truth to that. Like, Mrs. Anti-Tricker likes watching men being men. Not necessarily misogynistic, not denigrating to women, but men being men as in masculine, which, of course, by the left today is toxic. Tarantino says Abrams told him pretend it never happened. Well, probably a good idea. And the hat is a good look for you. You should wear it more often. Crow says, ramen. Bet it tasted like the best ramen of your life. It absolutely did. And I didn't even use the flavor packet because I can't stand shrimp. Let's see. You were having your own stream when Bird was having his own stream, but you were a bit nutty. So you were having your own stream when Bird was having his own stream, but yours was a bit nutty. I'm not sure what you mean. Are you saying Bird is streaming now? Because if he is, I didn't realize that. And if so, I am truly sorry. I looked, I didn't see him streaming, but then again, I am a little messed up in the head right now. So let's see. Also, Mecha Random gave your channel a shout out on High Council. She co-hosted with Ethan Vench, Skyver, and Worldcast BSers last night. Oh, very awesome. Mecha Random is a great friend of the channel. She is awesome, so I'm glad to hear that. If you stay on your Persian, should have used stat instead. Maybe we'll have to rename the country. I'll tell you what, we'll keep the channel name Anti-Trekker, but we'll have to come up with a new name for Turkestan. Is that okay? All right. And Joe says he's not streaming. Okay, good. I was just confused. Schromer says, has the pot of ramen cleared up the echo? I lost so much after the spring cleaning before my colonoscopy. I was repeating myself for days. I'm not feeling an echo. I just feel extremely groggy. That's how I'm feeling right now. Wow, you've been on for 46 minutes. Have I been on for 46 minutes? I don't know. Well, 46 minutes as of 11 minutes ago. But if so, I guess I have. 57 minutes and 17 seconds as of right now. Spin it, Spock! Live for 23! Did I miss a super chat? But I don't care. I'll play it because I'm... yeah. I love that one. Tom says, Captain made something awesome above your office door. Oh, thank you. I can't wait to see it. And by the way, BIRDOPREY, since you're here, I know you had no idea I was on. There must have been a notification problem. Shocking, I know, YouTube having a notification problem. But let me say this, Bird, in all seriousness for just a moment. This is how you inspire loyalty. You see, I don't willy-nilly kill my citizens. I don't abuse my citizens. And in fact, I lead them into battle rather than sending them into battle. And you know what? They go out of their way to build nice offices and stuff for me, and I don't even have to ask them to. Your people, you have to whip them into shape in order to get them to do anything because you're too lazy. You see? You gotta learn how to not be such an evil dictator. But seriously, thank you, Thomas and Captain MKG, I think it is, for your hard work in the game because, I mean, like that office you guys made for me is freaking awesome. Apparently, people are upset with Tarantino because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has a non-historical ending. Well, so did Inglourious Basterds. Didn't they kill Hitler in Inglourious Basterds? But my understanding, I saw a couple of reviews of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'll probably see it when it comes out on home video. I'm not going to go out and see it because I don't feel the need. But my understanding is it's not like it's not a biopic of Manson or anything like that. It's actually just about these two characters that you see in the trailer, the actor and his stunt double. And honestly, it's getting kind of mixed reviews from a lot of critics. And look, Auntie moved again. Hey, Auntie. How you doing, girl? See how excited she is? Apparently, let's see. Bird, Antrekker's wearing a Kurogan hat. Indeed. Well, because remember, I was at a Kurogan hospital earlier. Bird has the photographic evidence. He'll probably show it during his stream today. A new one. It's a pain in the. It's a pain in the butt. I did not know. Well, if you look at the list, Joseph, the newest one will always be the last number. So you'll see that super chats go from 1 to 26, where as of yesterday it went 1 to 25. So that's how you know. So I will, but I assume you want the new one. So I'll bring up number 26. And for those of you that have joined since then, this is a great breakfast cereal that you should all get.
The toast and eggs are really good, but there seems to be something missing. Yeah.
That's what you're having for breakfast? That simply won't do. Follow me instead.
What kind of place are you taking us to?
A place that will introduce you to Frosted Fruity Hulls. Not only does it have 4 unique fruity flavors, but it also has a glazed frost that makes it extra yummy.
How do they get so deliciously frosty?
The frostiness of Frosted Fruity Hulls, of course, comes from this hull. Part of the complete nutritious breakfast.
Oh, that's so disgusting that it's hilarious. So Frosted Fruity Hulls Yes. Check your grocery store for frosted fruity holes. And let's see. Kirk 2009 is Mary Sue despite losing a fight in the film. Did he ever win a fight in the film? I don't know. I don't know that I would say that. That'd be an interesting topic of discussion, Darren. Let's see. What's with the tinfoil hat? Well, I just escaped Kuroga, and this is the only way to prevent Kuroga. This is like a Kurogan science cap, I think. Is he drugged up? Yes, I am. Can't believe I missed it. That's all right, Bird. You didn't miss much. I'm just a little loopy, is all. Hard for me to keep up, and now my chat screwed up again. So let's see. And I completely got lost. Cinnabon ship I found. The ship I found is different. I'm not sure what that is. What if Tarantino went for full on for this Trek movie, but they sacrificed themselves and reset the original PG-13 timeline, canceling out Discovery and the Kelvin timelines? They're not going to do anything like that. They're just not. That's not going to happen. What about if they mix the buttons and touchscreen and they modern graphic teleportation, and then you could make fun of Discovery when looking at the new engine design and ensign. I'm not sure where you were going with that exactly, Black Adam, but I don't think that they're going to intentionally diss CBS. I don't think they're going to. But okay, Ensign says, how about mushroom spores? They look at that. That would be funny, but they're not going to do it. They're simply not going to do it. BIRDOPREY says Sunday is fine. All right, let's start making arrangements, guys, because let's not drop the ball on this. Darren says, okay, I'm willing to budge on the whole Kirk 2009 is a Mary Sue thing. What would you call him? He magically gets first officer position as a cadet and then becomes captain. I'm not saying that, and I said right at the bat, I think he got promoted too quickly. That being said, a Mary Sue, generally speaking, a Mary Sue type character is a character severely lacking in any kind of significant flaw or having to overcome any real obstacles. Kirk is not a total badass at the beginning of this film. He has to grow. And so I don't see Kirk as a badass. The difference, like when we look at Rey in Star Wars, what did Rey learn in The Force Awakens? The answer is nothing. She closed her eyes and got the Force. Nobody taught her anything. She didn't overcome anything. She was always just a badass. I had to make a way up to the base. I lost jet fuel. Like, you do that a lot. The Reliant was supposed to be upside down, not the Connie. That's what I thought, but I was like, hey, I like the Connie. I like the Reliant, too. I think the Reliant is a great-looking ship. Also, more proof that Abrams Kirk is not a Mary Sue's. Not everybody likes it. That's true as well. And typically, Mary Sue's have to be well-liked. Like, everybody that meets Rey loves Rey. Right? Notice, Princess Leia gives Rey a hug instead of Chewbacca, her old friend. And Han Solo offers Rey a job. Something we've never seen Han Solo do. So, yeah, everybody just loves Rey. And let's see here. Dr. Sleep looks awesome. I think it does as well. Kronos says, hello, neighbor. Did you see the new Mr. Rogers trailer? I did not. Honestly, Kronos, I don't have much intention to see the Mr. Rogers movie. I love Fred Rogers is an icon. He was a great guy. He did so much for children, but at the same time, I don't really care about biopics like that. I'd rather just watch Star Trek V than any JJ Trek. Wow, I wouldn't. Did Trek add more ranks by TNG? No, in fact, they had less because I don't think we saw any Commodores in TNG. Check out the God Culture's newest video about where Noah's Ark landed. They explain why it would land on Mount Everest. I will when I get a chance, Thor. Thank you. Did you think Seth MacFarlane's material was compatible with Trek? Tarantino is a fan like Seth. No. Well, but here's the difference, Scientific Lens. Seth MacFarlane, when he created the Orville, was intentionally trying to recreate Star Trek The Next Generation, but, you know, obviously change it up enough to where he wouldn't get into trouble. And then, but with With Tarantino, he wants to make a Tarantino film that happens to be Star Trek. That's a big difference. One is basically trying to make recreate what made Star Trek great. The other is, well, crap. And let's see. Stan is fine. Don't change it. All right. I'll leave it alone. You guys are making me nervous here. I thought charity stream. Let's see. I thought charity stream all funds to cancer research. Not sure what you're talking about there, Black Adam. I mean, I've helped Lore Reloaded on charity streams in the past, but yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Says Spin it, Spock. Love 23. I live for 23. Yeah, that is a great one. No, you're the one who's getting abused, Anti-Trekker, anally. Yes, BIRDOPREY says Anti-Trekker is happy with his office. He has yet to come see the Kurogan throne room. Well, send me the GPS to where it is, and I'll come check it out. And BIRDOPREY says, what's with the hat? We already explained the hat. It's Kurogan tech. This is Kurogan defense technology here. Someone who knows nothing about the Manson murders will get totally different impression of what happened based on the film, and that has some pro-Polanski people upset. Well, boo freaking who? Because Anti-Trekker isn't a dictator with delusions of godhood. That is true. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about the leader of Kuroga. I thought your son called them frosted fruity hoes, not holes. No, it's frosted fruity holes. Most breakfast cereals are crap. Nice to know it's been proven. Yes. That new super chat reminds me of the girl eating fuzzy tribble on the new Star Trek short trail. It does, actually. And it's actually that. I think that was hilarious. I really do. Compliments of Scarved Insect. Yes, I think you did a great job with that one. I think it's a mistake to assume what Tarantino would do with Star Trek on general principle. Okay, I'm retracting calling Kirk 2009 a Mary Sue. I'll come up with a different term. Fair enough. However, the reason I stand by the Tarantino thing is because Tarantino flat out said he was going to make it an R-rated film. That is not Star Trek. R-rated is not Star Trek. That would be Star Trek Discovery. They should make Mr. Steve Rogers movie. No Hydra neighbors. What does a shaved tribble look like? Ooh, I don't think I want to know. Anti's vanishing. Yes, she came over. She's sitting right here by my feet. You can't see her right now. She just wanted some love. I really like the dynamic between Kirk and Spock. They both complemented each other when where they were not as strong, and where they were both wrong, Bones gave another perspective. Yes, and that's something that was missing from the JJ movies, because for some reason Dr. McCoy got relegated to a glorified extra, and they replaced him with Uhura. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously I like Uhura as a character overall, but she should not be one of the top three. I'm sorry. Even though it sounds misogynist, it's supposed to be Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. The three of them make up a perfect human psyche, but they just kind of crapped all over that. So I'm kind of, that really did piss me off about the movie. Let's see. The behind the scenes reason why there are no Commodores after TOS is because the U.S. Navy got rid of the title, renamed them Rear Admiral Lower Half. Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying that. But the question was, are there more ranks in TNG? No, technically there's less, because they did eliminate Commodore. We also, the only reference to a fleet captain was Garth. How big is the map when I eventually get my computer? I'd love to build a Turkestan city hidden away from Kuroga. Oh, the map is Black Adam. If you're talking about the space engineers, you're talking planets. It's an entire solar system. So yes, you could indeed build an entire city. Sugar-coated crap. Forget Frosties. I prefer crunchy nut cornflakes. Oh, jeez. A film can be R-rated for a variety of reasons, yes, but Tarantino wants to make a Tarantino-flavored film. That was clear. Auntie wants some love to snuggle up to Anti-Trekker's hobbit feet. Well, actually what she does, she comes over, she puts her paw on my foot, and then wants me to scratch her neck, which is what I'm doing right now. This November, please don't shave your beard, your chin. It was very unsettling. All right, I won't. Talking about Rear Admirals makes me lol today. Yes, that's true. I didn't think about that. What rating would an anti-Trekker movie have, Anti-Trekker? Well, it depends on what I was making a movie about. if I was doing a sci-fi movie in the vein of Star Trek, Star Wars, or something like that, it would be a PG-13 movie. If I was making a horror movie, I would go for a hard R. If I was going for a adult-oriented action movie, like, say, a Terminator-type film or a RoboCop film, I would go for the hard R. But you have to reconcile the rating you're going for with the tone you're going for. Star Trek is a PG franchise. It absolutely is. And that's what it should be. How do we know there are no Commodores in the TNG area? That's true. Well, we just never heard the rank mentioned. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe there was a Commodore that I just don't remember. But I don't think they ever said the rank Commodore in TNG. Star Trek V would have been a lot worse had Bones been dancing naked instead of Uhura. Yeah, but it kind of would have added some interesting comedic effect. I did not know Abrams made Captain Kirk. I did not know how Abrams Kirk made Captain way too fast. I also didn't like how they did not capture the actual Kirk. Kirk was not a horn dog frat boy. That's not what Kirk is actually like. No, they kind of went. They kind of created the stereotype of Kirk. The one thing that I could buy about it, though, is that, remember, this is a Kirk that was raised without his father. And so because of that, the big change in Kirk's personality is he became the horn dog that people thought he was. Sir Villain put her paw on my arm when she wants love. Yes, Auntie does that too. And you can see now she's sitting back down in her little throne. You can build a whole city, but not too many parts. We are building too many parts that use a lot of CPU. Armor, wall, blocks is fine. Yes. You want to be careful about, not overdoing it, but at the same time, you can do it. What about Event Horizon? That was an R, I think. Don't know what the American ratings are. 18 here. Yes, Event Horizon was definitely an R-rated film. It was a sci-fi horror film, and I own Event Horizon. I think it's a decent film. Roxel says, Commodores, I preferred the four tops. Oh, jeez. And Thomas has a link to Memory Alpha as far as Commodores. Are you about to prove me wrong? Commodore was a rank, originally naval and later adopted by Starfleet's traditional grade. Commodore was the most junior flag officer rank, the most senior line officer rank. Yeah, I get that, but...
I have got something better!
And then there's a list of Starfleet Commodores: Robert April, Barstow, Richard Berman, Peter Bryce, Matt Decker, Anna Dixon, Arnwright, Maxwell Forrest, Joshua J, Bill something, Jose Mendez, I remember that one, Paris, Probert, Stalker, Stone, Toki, Travers, and Bob Wesley. So it looks like they all appear in the TOS era. Let's see. But I was trying, let's see. Apart from its original series... okay, so here we go. Apart from its original series usage, a Commodore is spoken of in radio traffic heard in the start of Star Trek The Motion Picture. A Commodore movie pin was also seen in Voyage Home. The rank has appeared in Enterprise, being mentioned in First Flight. Let's see. Shockwave Part 2 and Home, and Demons Terra Two-Parter. The rank Commodore in Starfleet itself has not been seen or referenced in Deep Space Nine or Voyager. It was listed in the rank guide used by Robert Blackman and the TNG Wardrobe Department. So apparently, it was never used. So there we go. All right, let me get back to finishing up the chat, and then I got to wrap up because, man, my brain is just not working right now. Let's see. You already have a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek. It's called Discovery. Exactly. That's my problem. I don't want more of that. Let's see. I believe the Star Trek Discovery ships are the correct salute is the face palm. No, it's the Bird of Prey came up with the salute. That's the salute in Star Trek Discovery. Skip Commodores, go straight right for the TRS-80. Well, actually, the TRS-80 came before the Commodore. Mercer puts $2 in and says, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. Yes, a great line from Batman Begins, and I still think Batman Begins was the best of the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't care what people say about the Dark Knight. I think the Joker is overrated, and I think that movie is overrated. It's a great movie, but it's overrated. Loved Event Rise. It's a true-to-life sci-fi if you forget the horror bits. It's actually a good combination of some hard sci-fi concepts and horror. It was actually very well done. Did somebody say Bob Wesley? Yes. Bob Wesley was the Commodore in command of the USS Lexington in The Ultimate Computer. Black Adam, Anti-Tricker, wait, so you can leave the planet where Turkestan is. Can you leave on the same map? Like, we should go to the moon, and one day all of us just rocket away and Kuroga is left alone. Yes, you can. There's an entire solar system that you can, and you can build space stations and all that. U.S. Coast Guards have Commodores. There's still Commodores in the U.S. Navy, only in special position. Okay, I didn't know that, but yeah, as far as, I mean, it's an outdated rank, unfortunately. I like the name Commodore, but oh well. Only half have hit like. Come on, poot that like button, says Dale. Thank you, my friend. They have various ranks of admiral. That's true. Well, admiral is just the naval equivalent of general, and there are 5 ranks of general. Now, I don't know how they do it in the Navy, but in the Army, there's an acronym you learn in basic training: Be My Little General, the Army. And what that means is that B is a brigadier general, my is a major general, little is a lieutenant general, general is just a general. A 4-star general is just a general. And so you are a brigadier general, a major general, a lieutenant general, or a general. And then general of the Army is a 5-star general. However, the general of the Army position can only be appointed by the President of the United States, and there can only be one general of the Army. At least when I was in the military, that might have changed. But the same works with admirals and generals in the other services. But I don't know, like, I know there's like rear admiral and fleet admiral, or I don't quite get how admiral ranks work. So, because I was never in the Navy. But wait, just because no Commodores were seen or mentioned in the TNG area doesn't mean they didn't exist. That's true, Darren. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. I will give you that. That being said, you would think that they would have mentioned it. I wouldn't mind a film or series about a rescue ship, Anti-Trigger, if they're missing a trick there. That actually might not be a bad idea. But I would like to see, I would like to see a movie or a series set in the movie era, the TOS movie era, just not on the Enterprise. I loved the design of the ships back then, but unfortunately we're never going to see it. Yeah, there are no Commodores in the Navy anymore. I didn't think so. The Turkestan space program is classified. I was asking for details on the Turkestan space program. Although our first attempted launch was not a disaster, unlike the Kurogan Space Force, in our first attempt at launching, which we did record for posterity, we'll use it when we show the victory of our space program. But the first launch went badly, but nobody died. And so it went badly for the equipment, not for the people. Let's see. In the Navy, sounds like Anti-Triggers joined the village people. Definitely not. So happy you used the voice to read that last quoted comment. I'm like, of course, I knew exactly what you were doing. No more prequels. Move forward. Here's the thing. I'm with you on that, but the problem is that, and this is another one of these things that Hollywood doesn't quite understand, is they always want to make things bigger, right? And this is something I will give J.J. Abrams and even, yes, Rian Johnson some credit here, in that they did not do this with Star Wars. They didn't suddenly make everything 10 times more advanced than they were in prior Star Wars films. The aesthetic was pretty much the same. X-Wings were still X-Wings. TIE Fighters were still TIE Fighters. Star Destroyers looked a little different, but they were still Star Destroyers. Yes, Starkiller Base was bigger than a Death Star, but it didn't feel like it was significantly more advanced. It was just a larger scope. So they did a good job there in keeping the technology in check. They've done a horrible job of that in Star Trek, where they keep trying to push the boundaries based on what they can do with visual effects to make everything more advanced. And that's why Discovery looks more advanced than the Next Generation, which is total crap. They need to stop trying to push it, make it more and more and more advanced, and just work on good storytelling. And that's where, unfortunately, Star Trek has been slacking. So I wouldn't mind them moving forward, Black Adam. That's a long-winded way of saying that. But I also would be very cautious about them moving forward and making the tech even more impressive. Because at this point, with what they've established by the end of Voyager, why have, for example, security guards? Why have them at all? Why not just have holograms that do security work? Because you can't kill a hologram, right? Why not, you have your deflector dish can pretty much do anything now. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Brian McFarland's in the house and says, "Hi-dee-ho, everybody." Good to see you, Brian. Rock Solid says, "Don't forget, people, hit that like button, share via socials, donate if you can, and down with Karoga." Again, thank you, Rock Solid. You are a true gentleman. But wait, peep, unsubbing. Sorry. What is the game you talk about with those Karogan bastards? That is Darth Maul. We're talking about Space Engineers is the name of the game. It's actually a lot of fun. It's kind of like Minecraft, but with it's technology based instead of just placing dirt and stone and stuff like that. Antchecker, go to 2550 or 2780. Well, it doesn't matter what year you go to. What matters is that you don't want the tech to be too advanced, and that's something they suck at right now. Cinnabon's first test ship went well last night. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Wait, why is Antchecker wearing a tinfoil hat? Has he watched too much CNN? No, I got probed today. You may not have heard that, but yes, just before this live stream. The reason I sound a little off is because I was, probed. Peter Quinn says, Fantastic Four origin and villain revealed, and Checker News just in. Do you have a link to an article or something, Peter? Because if you do, I would like to see it right away. Because Fantastic Four is something near and dear to my heart. And despite the way I feel, I will try to put out a video about it almost immediately if I can get some solid intel on that. Did anyone mention don't forget to change the top chat to live chat? Yes, I think you're the first, Night Breeze, and thank you. And let's see. Oh, Kronos, did you? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. But, well, I couldn't have heard you because it was text. Wow, that just didn't come out right. Roxal says, don't worry, Checker, you don't sound any more off or strange than normal. Well, gee, thanks. Uncle Ramus says, R.I.P. Rutger Hauer. Yes, I've been talking about Rutger. Peter puts the link for this link. The link for this article. Let me take a quick look here and see what it has to say. And let's see. Hey, Antrick, your voice is a few octaves higher. LOL, just kidding. I'm glad you got all the stuff done and behind you. Pardon the pun. Yeah, I know. And yes, Peter, I did get... Well, let's see. Trying to... All right. The Fantastic Four's MCU origin story has reportedly been revealed. All right. So let's take this... I don't know if this is the exact same article that you try. Yeah, it says, we got this covered.com. So let's check it out here. Roxal says, you're welcome. Peter says it's DM and Discord. Thank you. I'll save it there. All right. That just didn't come out right. Anti-Tricker. Yeah, especially on a day like this. That was a bad pun. All right. So let's see what they're saying. So this is from Christian Bone. Bone? I guess it is Christian Bone. Okay. Ever since the Fox-Disney merger went through, Marvel fans have been wondering how the X-Men would be folded in the MCU, and interesting as it is to think about mutant kind will be established in the franchise, it's worth considering how the Fantastic Four will be brought on board as well. After all, we know for certain they're on their way, thanks to Kevin Feige's mention in the Met Comic-Con this weekend. In fact, according to one source, Marvel's got an origin source in mind for the first family that will draw inspiration from characters already seen in the MCU. Comic Book News writes that they've been informed that the Four will be established as being around in the 1960s, contemporaries with original Ant-Man and the Wasp. So where they've been all this time, well, Reed, Sue, and the rest will have allegedly been stuck in the negative zone for decades. But when they finally escape, they'll find themselves in present day, but without having aged. Marvel will go with something like this. It'll be a blend of Captain America's origins and Janet Van Dyne's storyline. CBN speculates that this way, bringing the Fantastic Four into the franchise could also introduce Annihilus, the evil ruler of the negative zone. So it's all speculation. Comic Book News basically is running off of a fan theory because, and so this is unfortunate because this is the kind of, unfortunately, Peter, it's kind of fake news here, because here's what we got here is, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank now. The guy that directed Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. He actually did a treatment for Fantastic Four, and that's his story. And he's talked about it before. So the problem is that so now they're kind of pretending that because he talked about that must be what they're doing. And then the Annihilus thing, well, if the Fantastic Four were stuck in the negative zone, then Annihilus would be logical, as would Blastar and a bunch of other negative zone baddies. But I'm not totally against it, although the problem I see with it is that just makes it a carbon copy of what happened to Ant-Man in Endgame. And why would you do that? Why would you just do the exact same story that you did for, like I said, the original Wasp was stuck in the quantum realm. You had Ant-Man stuck in the quantum realm. The negative zone will just, and it's like, well, so the negative zone just works exactly like the quantum realm, apparently. I don't know. So as far as if it's Annihilus, I wouldn't necessarily be upset about it being Annihilus, but I would rather it be Doctor Doom, to be honest with you. I know it sounds silly, but Doctor Doom is the one villain in the and I know he's been done in every prior Fantastic Four movie, but there's a reason for that. Doctor Doom is the greatest villain in comic book history, bar none. I'm sorry to all you Lex Luthor fans. I'm sorry to all you fans of the various other villains in Marvel and DC. Doctor Doom is the comic book villain right here. Doctor effing Doom. However, and plus, Doctor Doom's origin is directly linked to Reed Richards. And so if somehow the Fantastic Four have been stuck in the quantum realm for, 50 years and then come out, and now they're like, oh, wow, it's the future. We need to have an old Doctor Doom who is now pissed off that Reed came back. Because, and in fact, what I would probably do is have it so that their experiment to take him to the quantum realm or to the negative zone, Doom sabotaged, and he thought that he had killed Richards for once and for all, and then 50 years later they pop back up and they're still young. He's pissed off, and so now we can have a good motivation for Doom to get his vengeance. So yeah, I'm going to take that one with an extreme grain of salt, because honestly there's nothing in there that has not already been published. It's just kind of gone around in circles. I can't add ice to the redacted even though it's not full. That's weird. I wonder why. It could be, though. Sometimes there's a glitch in the game, Thomas. If you're having trouble moving inventory around, exit out, go right back in and see if it already moved or if you can move it then. And so that's, let's see. That wasn't a pun, Anti-Checker. That was a quote. Okay, it was a pun as well. Yes. Great. They stole my idea for Fantastic Four. Who's writing this? Alex Kurtzman? No, that's, like I said, that was the idea of the director of Ant-Man and the Wasp. That plot for the Fantastic Four sounds suspiciously like the Brady movies. Okay. Hello, Anti-Checker. Hey, Dr. Alex. Hope you're okay. Nice hat, by the way. Thank you, Doctor. Yes, I am, well, I'm relatively sober. Still kind of trying to shrug off the effects of the anesthesia from this morning. And the procedure went relatively well. And Thomas says, I noticed more damage to the Redacted as well. Maybe we have Kurogans in the area. We need to watch out for them, beef up our security. Is this fan 4 news or speculation? Because I've heard the theory for over a year now. Yeah, I think that's speculation. And the big giveaway about it is the article says, a source says, as opposed to, here's who it is. Brian McFarland says, hey, Trigger, it bothers me how dark the tone of all the new recent CBS Star Trek series. What's happened to believing in a better future with Federation explorers and believe in peace? Exactly my problem is that even Deep Space Nine, even though they went into dark places, they were always optimistic. And oh, look, we got a Slithering Peanut just subscribed. Awesome, Slithering. If you're here right now, thank you, my friend. And boop, drops the turd. And so, boy, those turds are like made out of rubber for some reason. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. The tone of Star Trek is not supposed to be this bleak, this depressing, this pessimistic, particularly pessimistic about humanity. And I really don't understand that. And the whole idea, I mean, besides all that, then they break canon all over the place. How is it that the M5 is the most advanced computer ever made and it can run a starship on automation? However, 10 years before that, apparently they had a computer system that was running all of Starfleet. What? If you like building models, have you heard of Polar Lights? I picked up a Defiant Polar Lights model a few months back. I still need to build it, however. I do. I've always wanted to get one of the high-end Polar Lights models, but I'd be very scared to try and build it because I loved building models when I was a kid. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's something that I used to really, really like. And let's see here. Doomcock can kick Dr. Doom any day. I love Doomcock, but Dr. Doom, I don't think that, yeah. Dr. Doom is, remember, Dr. Doom is a combination. Imagine this for a moment, because this is what a lot of people that don't read the comics don't quite get this. The way to imagine what Dr. Doom is capable of is take the brains of Reed Richards, the technology of Tony Stark, and the sorcery of Doctor Strange and roll them into one person. He is deadly incarnate. There is no other villain to match him. Doctor Doom has never been done well. They need a proper portrayal. They absolutely did. Did. No, they did not. You're right. They do. I really want to see a strong Doctor Doom. Doomcock has Harvey. That is true, but Doctor Doom has beaten extra-dimensional beings as powerful as the Beyonder, and I dare say the Beyonder is even more powerful than Harvey. R.I.P. Rutger Hauer. Yes, it has been. We've been talking about it all day, Kennewick, but yes, it's very sad. Rutger is no longer with us. Joker versus... Excuse me. My throat's still really dry from the anesthesia and stuff. Joker versus Doctor Doom. Who's the better villain? Honestly, okay, this is a tough one as far as like to just generically say who's the better villain. Doctor Doom. And the reason is that Doctor Doom can take on anybody and has taken on pretty much everybody in the Marvel Universe. Not the MCU, not yet, but in the Marvel Universe, Doctor Doom has taken on the X-Men, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, everybody. In the DC world, Joker is the perfect, and I do mean perfect foil to Batman, but nothing else. And so Joker's a better villain against Batman than, say, Doctor Doom versus Spider-Man or something. However, Doctor Doom is a better overall villain, and Doctor Doom is on par with the Joker as far as being a foil when you compare Doctor Doom to Reed Richards. Have you eaten? Yes, Dr. Alex, I ate some top ramen when I got home, and Mrs. Antrekker is going to take me out to eat in about 4 hours, and I'm looking forward to that. Alex says, I'm in here now. Well, good to see you, Alex. Love that poker. I'm sure you meant Joker. Mrs. Antrekker, hey guys, babe, you really need to get some rest now. I know. I see Mrs. Antrekker's looking out for me. Everybody's saying hi to Mrs. Anti-Checker because she's better than me. And let's see. Peter Quinn says, Cisco's log episode, The Darkest Star Trek. You're talking about the, oh gosh, now you, I can't believe I spaced the name of it. In the Pale Moonlight is that episode where that's the darkest episode of Deep Space Nine. And up until Discovery, Deep Space Nine was the darkest show. But I would dare say that that is not the darkest Star Trek episode ever. If you look at some of the stuff on Discovery, it is darker. That episode is dark, for sure. But it's the low point. It's rock bottom for Cisco. That's just an average day on frickin' Discovery. Sci-Fi Sis says, why do you have a tinfoil hat? What's scary alien invaders to come if you got to steal your brain? Nobody stole my brain. They probed me. So this is my anti-probing hat. And Dr. Alex is saying, hello, Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Interesting that today of all days, Anti-Trekker is talking about the whole idea of something. Oh, jeez. Uh-oh, Mrs. Anti-Trekker and Alex on at the same time. Oh, don't worry. I got Alex, I got an Alex-proof shield around the house. Answer Quantum for Star Trek Discovery. They don't care. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's saying hi to Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Nightbreeze says, Mrs. Anti-Trekker, hail to the Queen of Turtistan. Hope you're having a great day. Kennewick says, poor Dr. Doom. As a comic layman, Dr. Doom is a joke because of the bad movies. I know, and that's the sad thing, because Dr. Doom is so freaking amazing. He is like Reed Richards up until this new SJW Marvel crap. Reed Richards was the smartest man in the Marvel Universe. The only person who had an intellect that was about the same as Reed Richards was Dr. Victor Von Doom. Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom were actually college roommates. They were both equally gifted and doing all this great stuff. Dr. Doom, or actually it was just called Victor Von Doom at the time, but Dr. Doom actually, kind of like Doctor Strange, he actually is a doctor, he has a PhD. But Doom was working on an experiment to try and revive his dead mother. He has mommy issues. And so what he was doing is using quantum mechanics and stuff to build kind of a like a high Einstein-Rosen bridge. But he was also using sorcery to combine with that to enter into the dimension where she was in order to rescue her from hell, basically. I know that sounds silly, but that's kind of what he was trying to do. And when he was trying to build this experiment, Reed noticed that he was off on some of his computations, and that would mean for a massive explosion if he turned on the device. So Reed tried to warn Doom, and Doom thought that Reed was simply trying to sabotage his project. So Doom didn't listen, activated the device, explosion happens, Doom gets a scar on his face, and his face is then never seen again, depending on who's writing or reading, but theoretically his face is never seen again, at least not in that state. And so then he dons the armor. He uses his intellect to make these incredible weapons into his armor. He has a legion of Doombots, which are just basically androids that look exactly like him. Think of the Iron Legion from Age of Ultron, just like that. The Doombots basically do his dirty work for him, but he is obviously the most powerful of them. But he can also cast spells of the same caliber as Doctor Strange. So Doom is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. But unfortunately, yeah, what they do, they turn him into a stupid businessman that gets lightning superpowers. And it's like, where did that come from? And so, let's see. Everybody's still talking to Mrs. Anti-Trekker because they like her better than they like me. Bunch of jerks around here. And let's see. And Roxall says, don't forget, people, hit that like button, share via socials, donate if you can, and down with Kuroga, support Turtistan because quantum. Very good. Thank you. Crazy uncle is what you look like, Anti-Trekker. Well, yeah, I could see that. Have an awesome day. Get some rest. I will. Let's see. Ask anyone who's interested in joining the battle. We will go to the stream group page and sign up what side they want to join. You got it, Wesley. So make sure. So if you want to join in our massive Turtistan versus Kuroga battle, it's going to come up on Sunday. Is now when we're scheduling it. Go to my Discord. there is a Space Engineers section in Discord, and let Wesley know what if you want to participate and what side of the battle you wish to participate on. We do need to try and keep it relatively fair, even though Kuroga is evil and will lose. We still need to keep it fair. The Fantastic Four movie, Doctor Doom, was just a metal version of that rock guy. Yeah. Mrs. Antrick, you really need to do another book reading. Yeah, listen to him, babe. They want you to do another book review. Wow, being helpful gets me called a jerk. Thanks, Antrick. You know, I only call people jerks if I love them, and that's why I do not call BIRDOPREY a jerk. He's a bastard. See what I did there? Sounds like Fantastic Four ripped off Doomcock. Yeah, you know, as much, and I know Doomcock would acknowledge this, but as much as I love Doomcock, you know, I've been promoting Doomcock since his channel was actually smaller than mine, and I do really love his channel. He's a great guy. I had a great time with him when we had that conversation a couple of weeks back. But I think he would acknowledge that this guy right here is the ultimate comic book villain, and has never been done justice. And so, Mrs. Antricker, as far as doing another book reading, she says, you know, Kronos, I've been just been so busy and stressed out. Maybe after everything settles down. And yes, and hopefully that will be soon. You know, we've got the estate of her sister, the estate of her mom, my health. Mrs. Antricker's got a lot on her plate, and she has been doing wonderfully, especially in helping me get through this tough time. So, hard to ask for more from her, but I know you guys want just love her and want her to do more stuff, and she will eventually, I hope. I get called a jerk all the time. Aw, shucks, Anti-Trekker, as you wish. There you go. See how it works? There are people out there who believe the Fantastic Four movies ripped off The Incredibles. I know that's because they don't understand that the Fantastic Four has been around since the early 1960s. But you know, that's okay. We'll let them have their stupidity. All right, guys. With that, I am going to wrap it up because, like Mrs. Antricker said, I do need to get some rest. And you guys take care. Have an awesome whatever it is in your time zone. And yeah, I need a sign off. I really do. Hey, just so everybody knows, it's still here right now. I just got breaking news here that BIRDOPREY 5 is getting ready to stream right now. So if you want a treat, BIRDOPREY 5 is, you know, all kidding aside, it's a good friend of the channel. And even if he is an evil dictator, and I think he's going to try and prove that Kurogan healthcare is not as bad as I said it was, but I'm pretty sure Kurogan healthcare is pretty darn bad. Bird should be streaming any minute. I'm trying to stall as long as I can so that he can get his stream up and running. Of course, he's probably sitting there going, oh crap, he wanted me to start right now. And so hopefully any minute here, Bird, any minute now, you're gonna get your bird stream going, so that way you can see, if you do it quickly, Bird, if you get the stream on like right now, I'll put the link for your stream in my stream to hopefully get some more people to check out your stream, because BIRDOPREY is a great guy, and you guys need to check him out. He never gets enough support in his streams. I mean, you should give the super chats to me, just to be clear. And I know, Josh, you would rather have Mrs. Anti-Trekker stream, but you heard her. She's a little stressed right now. When she's feeling better, maybe she'll do a Mrs. Anti-Trekker stream. And however, so remember, enjoy the BIRDOPREY stream. But if you have that urge to give, what you want to do is go to antitrekker.com and give there, because then you'll be supporting good people, not evil dictators. So, is the bird given? The bird is given. Warp speed. So, any day now, bird. Let's see, what's that? What was that? And okay, so Bird of Prey looks like is live now. So let me see if I can find his stream real quick. Maybe that would be. Oh, I see. Doomcock is streaming "Tears in the Rain." Good quote. And Bird of Prey. Here we go. So, is the bird given? The bird is given. Warp speed. So now you can hear me on Bird's channel. Bird. Let's see, what's that? And there's Bird. And okay. And I see so Thomas has already given money to Bird of Prey. Thomas, you're doing it wrong, Thomas. Thomas, don't give money to Bird of Prey. You're supposed to give it to me. Go to antitrekker.com. Oh, of course, now he cuts me off. Doomcock is streaming Tears in the Rain. Good quote. It looks like he's talking, but it's my voice coming out, so I don't think he realizes. And Bird of Prey, here we go. It's still me.
Indications negative at this time.
The bird is given. This is hilarious. Okay, so now you can hear me on Bird's channel. Let's see, what's that? And there's Bird. And so, anyway, go over there, have a good time with Bird of Prey, and you guys take care.